Today we're continuing our investigation into the electric vehicle startup Aptera, which recently went public on NASDAQ. The company's debut as a public company has revealed seriously concerning developments that challenge everything they claimed previously. In this video, we're going to walk through all the latest updates and what they mean for investors. Before we dive in, I want to tell you something important about this story and its implications overall. This isn't just another startup failing silently in the background without anyone paying attention to what's happening. This is a company that made big public promises, took investor money, and now evidence is piling up. When a company goes public, especially through a direct listing, they suddenly have to be accountable to regulators. The moment Aptera hit the NASDAQ, everything changed forever in terms of transparency and financial accountability requirements. They couldn't just make claims anymore without backing them up with official documents and verified financial statements. They had to file documents with the SEC and tell the truth about their actual business situation. That's when things started falling apart in a big way that nobody could have predicted initially. The more you look at what they're actually doing versus what they said, the gap becomes obvious. In June of 2025, Aptera built a prototype they called the Artemis for testing purposes. This was supposed to be their most advanced vehicle, yet compared to everything they'd done before. It was a massive step forward from all their previous prototypes and development work over the years. Then, in October, they sent it to a major YouTuber for a full professional review of it. That decision turned out to be probably a significant mistake for the company's public image and credibility. When the reviewer got behind the wheel, he immediately noticed something strange about the vehicle's design overall. The vehicle had no rear windshield, which seemed like a fundamental design flaw from the very start. The back is completely covered with solar panels, so there's no way to see anything behind. This means there's no way to use a traditional rear-view mirror like normal vehicles have always. So they installed a rear-view camera instead to help drivers see behind the vehicle while driving. Except when the reviewer tried to use it, the camera wasn't even working properly at all. It was broken right out of the box, which raised serious questions about quality control standards. This is supposed to be their flagship prototype that represents the company's best work and engineering. This is what they're showing to the world as proof that they know what they're doing. And the rear-view camera doesn't work, which is a terrible first impression for potential investors. But the problems went way deeper than just a broken camera that needs simple replacement or repair. The design had fundamental flaws that nobody seemed to have thought through during the entire development phase. The windshield has this massive border right at eye level, where drivers need to see clearly. This border completely blocks your vision and creates serious visibility problems while driving the vehicle safely. It's not a small thing that drivers can learn to work around or get used to eventually. It's a huge obstruction that's always in your line of sight no matter what you're doing. The reviewer said this is dangerous and creates serious safety hazards for anyone driving the vehicle. He said he's reviewed hundreds of vehicles and nothing comes close to this level of visibility obstruction. The wheel covers are another serious disaster waiting to happen to drivers in real-world conditions. They built these large covers that go over the top of the wheels completely to protect them. These covers are so big that there's only a couple inches of ground clearance underneath the vehicle. Think about that for a second and really understand what that means for practical, everyday driving situations. What happens when there's snow on the ground covering roads in winter months across most areas? What happens when you drive over a small speed bump that every normal vehicle goes over easily? The vehicle would be completely unable to move forward and would get stuck immediately without any progress. This is supposed to be a vehicle people drive in the real world for everyday transportation needs. It can't even handle basic driving situations that every other vehicle in the world can handle easily. The windshield glare is something the designer apparently never tested properly during the entire development and design. Because when you look at the curved shape of the windshield, the sun reflects off it badly. The reviewer said he's never seen a vehicle with this much dangerous glare in his entire career. Not in a prototype stage vehicle, not in a production car, not anywhere in the entire world. Not in any racing vehicle, military vehicle, or any other type of specialized vehicle ever created or tested. He called it very dangerous and unsuitable for any vehicle that regular people would drive every single day. And here's the thing that really stood out as being concerning about the entire design of this vehicle. The reviewer asked how Aptera could possibly fix this glare problem without completely changing the entire design. The answer is they can't fix it without completely redesigning the entire shape of the vehicle entirely. That's not a small tweak or minor adjustment that takes a few weeks to implement properly. That's starting over from scratch with a completely new design process that would take years to complete. So let me paint a picture of what's actually happening here with this company and their vehicle. Aptera is holding up this prototype as proof that they know what they're doing and understand engineering. But it can't see behind it because the rear view camera doesn't work at all right now. The design is dangerous due to visibility issues and glare that makes it hazardous for regular drivers. It can't drive in snow or over speed bumps that every normal vehicle can easily handle without issues. It can't handle basic visibility requirements that every car manufactured in the last 50 years can handle easily. Yet this is still their most advanced prototype that represents years of work and millions in investment funding. This is what they've been working on for years while spending money from investors and crowdfunding campaigns. Plus, this is what they invested millions to build and test and improve before showing it publicly to. And it fundamentally doesn't work as a vehicle that people could actually drive in the real world safely. Now let's talk about how they plan to actually manufacture and produce these vehicles for customers in future. Aptera says they're going to start production sometime in 2026 with actual vehicles for paying customers. Their production facility is going to be right at their headquarters building located in California state area. That location was always a problem for manufacturing vehicles at any kind of significant scale or volume production. We've pointed this out before in previous videos about this company and its manufacturing strategy plans overall. You can't manufacture cars in an office building where people work at desks and answer phone calls. It's just not possible to do that in a practical sense with any kind of volume or scale. There's not enough space inside an office building for a real manufacturing operation that produces vehicles at scale. The building wasn't designed for manufacturing and lacks the infrastructure needed for production operations of any kind. But that's where they've decided to do it regardless of the practical limitations and obvious problems with this. In December of 2025, Aptera released a video showing their production line and manufacturing process approach. They showed how they're actually going to build these vehicles going forward for customers who want them. Well, what they revealed was shocking and raised serious questions about their manufacturing capabilities and future production plans. Let me compare this to what a real car factory looks like in modern automotive manufacturing today. When you go into a BMW factory or any major automaker's factory, you see something incredible always. The entire process is automated using robots and machines that work 24 hours every single day constantly. Industrial robots assemble the chassis at incredible speeds that humans could never match, even working together always. Dozens of robots work in perfect coordination with each other to assemble vehicle frames very quickly, always. Human workers then install the internal components that require fine motor skills and specialized knowledge and training. Whilst everything moves on a continuous assembly line that keeps moving forward all day without any stops, ever. Each worker does one specific task over and over very quickly and very precisely without any variation. This is efficient and professional, and this is how cars are manufactured in the modern world today. Now look at Aptera's production line, and you'll see something very different from modern manufacturing practices today. There are no industrial robots at all working on their production line to automate the manufacturing process. There is no continuously moving assembly line that workers stand beside to add components to vehicles constantly. There are just workers standing around with hand tools doing various tasks in an unorganized manner overall. They're manually welding the body by hand using traditional techniques instead of using modern welding equipment. Each person is doing various tasks throughout the day instead of focusing on one specific job only. It's slow and inefficient, and that explains why they're not producing vehicles at any meaningful scale today. The camera shows them assembling the frames, and you can literally tell when each day ends clearly. You can see this because the lighting from the window changes as the sun moves throughout the day. Do you know how long it takes them to assemble one frame using their current manufacturing process? An entire day to assemble just one frame, which is just the basic skeleton of the vehicle. A real factory would produce hundreds of frames in that same time period working in modern conditions. Oh, here's what really bothers me about this picture of their manufacturing facility and their production approach strategy. Aptera has been telling everyone they're an innovative company using cutting-edge manufacturing techniques and modern approaches. Back in June of 2023, they claimed they had automated guided vehicles for manufacturing operations. These vehicles are basically robots that would move the tricycles around during production on their manufacturing floor. These robots were supposed to be part of their revolutionary manufacturing process and their competitive advantage point. They talked about it like it was this huge technological advantage that other companies didn't have access. Then you see the video of their actual production line and what they're really doing every single day. And no robots are visible at all working on their line, and no automated vehicles are moving anything. No automated guided vehicles are moving tricycles around from station to station during their manufacturing process daily. Just people are moving parts around by hand, like they did it in the 1800s time period. Just like they did it before the Industrial Revolution changed manufacturing and how companies produce products forever. This is artisanal craft production, not manufacturing at scale, like what the company claimed they could do. This is the opposite of manufacturing at scale that would allow them to produce thousands of vehicles. There's no way this scales to any meaningful volume that would be profitable for the company to. There's no way this ever becomes profitable when compared to other vehicle manufacturers operating in the market. The labor costs alone would be astronomical and much higher than what their vehicles could sell for. If it takes an entire day to assemble one frame and they're paying people to do this, the cost per unit is going to be insane and impossible to compete with other manufacturers on. They'll never compete on price in the market against established companies with modern manufacturing operations working. They'll never be profitable at this rate because their costs are too high to make money, really. This production line is a dead-end strategy that will not lead to success in this industry. But wait, there's more because Aptera keeps playing a game with multiple prototypes constantly happening always. They keep building new prototypes and claiming the next one is going to be the real production. In June of 2025, they unveiled the Artemis prototype, which was the one the reviewer tested. At the same time, they said they're also working on another prototype called Gemini right now. They describe Gemini as a production weight validation vehicle for testing range and efficiency eventually It's supposed to test range and efficiency and help them understand what the final vehicle will be. But here's the thing that's crazy about this approach to vehicle development and prototype strategies going forward. They don't even know if Gemini will actually enter production after all their testing work is completed. They just built it to see what the weight will be and to understand future specifications better. It's basically a guess about the future based on assumptions rather than actual production knowledge or plans. Then in December, Aptera showed footage of Gemini for the first time to the public and media. The co-CEO explained that they've been doing internal efficiency evaluations with the vehicle over several weeks. They drove it through different road conditions including highways, cities, and stop-and-go traffic situations overall. The preliminary internal evaluations were, and I quote, encouraging in terms of what they learned overall here. But here's what that phrase really means in terms of where they actually are in the process. They're still just doing basic testing to understand if the vehicle even works at all, basically. They haven't even started the formal regulatory testing they absolutely need to get certification from regulators. They are nowhere near production ready in terms of what regulators and safety standards actually require of them. When you look at the footage inside Gemini, it's obvious this is not a finished vehicle at all. The frame is completely bare carbon fiber with no padding protecting people inside from the frame materials. The steering wheel doesn't have a cover protecting driver's hands from the steering column and electrical components. There are wires hanging out of it in an exposed manner that looks unfinished and unsafe overall. It looks like someone's science fair project that they put together for a school project over weekend. The co-CEO is using phrases like preliminary internal evaluations, and we look forward to conducting tests soon. This tells you they're way further back in development than anyone listening to their claims would believe honestly. They're maybe halfway through basic testing while acting like they're ready for manufacturing in the near future. But here's where it gets really interesting and shows the disconnect between reality and their public claims. Right after Aptera went public, the other co-CEO started going on financial media to make big claims. He made a big claim about production timelines that caught everyone's attention in the media and online. He said once they secure financing, they can start production within 6 months from that point forward. 6 months is a very short time for a company that doesn't have a production-ready vehicle yet. Think about that timeline and whether it makes sense given everything we've discovered about their progress. So, they don't have a production-ready vehicle that can pass safety tests and regulatory requirements from the government. The Artemis has fundamental design flaws that cannot be fixed without completely redesigning the entire vehicle itself. The Gemini hasn't even completed formal testing that's required for regulatory approval and safety certification processes needed. But they're claiming they can be in production in 6 months, despite all these obvious obstacles, and, according to this timeline they provided to media, they should enter production around the middle of next. Let me ask you something important about whether this timeline seems realistic, given their actual current situation. Does it seem realistic that they can jump from hand-welding prototypes into production in just 6 months? They're hand-welding vehicles one per day without any automation or modern manufacturing techniques being used at all. Their most advanced prototype can't drive in snow and has a broken camera that doesn't work properly. Their other prototype is basically a test weight that hasn't even completed formal regulatory testing requirements yet needed. They haven't done the formal regulatory testing that's required for any vehicle to be sold to customers legally. And somehow, they're going to jump into production in 6 months according to the co-CEO's public claim? The timeline is completely detached from reality and what's actually possible given their current technical situation existing. It's the kind of thing you say when you're trying to convince investors you have a real plan. But it's not the kind of thing you say if you're actually looking at the facts honestly. Now let's talk about something that should make everyone very nervous about the company's credibility and honesty. Aptera claimed they were selling solar panels to another company in their product development and revenue plans. Building a car is hard, and building an affordable car is even harder to do properly. Building a profitable car that makes money is even harder than building an affordable vehicle overall. The companies that are going to succeed are ones that solve these problems instead of just talking. Aptera talks a very good game to media and investors and the public about their plans. But when you look at what they're actually doing every single day, the gap is enormous. The gap between what they say and what they actually do is obvious and impossible to ignore. The story of Aptera is still being written, and the ending hasn't been determined yet at all. But based on everything we've seen and discovered, the ending doesn't look good for the company. The company is out of time with only 8 months of cash left before total bankruptcy. The company is out of money to invest in manufacturing equipment and facilities that they need. The company is out of credible claims after the SEC filings contradicted what their CEOs said publicly. And the company's vehicles, at least the ones we've seen so far, don't work in reality. That's not a narrative about a company headed towards success and becoming a major automaker. That's the narrative of a company running out of runway very quickly and running out of time. That's the narrative of a company that made promises it can't keep to its investors and public. The question now is just how fast that runway is disappearing and how much time they have. Based on the 8 months of cash they have left, we probably won't wait very long. We probably won't have to wait very long to find out what ultimately happens to this company. Thank you for watching this detailed investigation into Aptera and everything we've discovered about the company. Please share your thoughts about this situation in the comments section below and let us know. We want to hear what you think about Aptera and whether you agree with our analysis here. We'll be following this story very closely as more information comes out from SEC filings monthly. We'll report on any updates that happen with Aptera's cash situation and manufacturing progress going forward.